Hi, I'm here with my colleague and friend in evangelism, Johnny Henderson. And Johnny is the Director of Evangelism for Streams of Light International. And we're talking today about the conference-wide, Indiana conference-wide initiative called the Great Controversy Project. So welcome, Johnny. And why don't you just start by telling us what is the Great Controversy Project?
Absolutely. So glad to be here. The Great Controversy Project, as many of our church members may know, there's been a large initiative that's been initiated by the General Conference. Between 2023 and 2024, they wanted to distribute through church members billions of great controversies worldwide.
Wow.
We started in 2021 with our ministry, and once we heard about this initiative that the General Conference had, we wanted to do everything that we could to support this initiative. So this year, we have invited to partner with every single conference in this division to invite their church members to hand deliver the Great Controversy in their own communities. And out of the conferences, 23 have decided to partner with us, including the Indiana Conference.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing to see the level of interest in the conference already. We have 23 churches have already said yes and are planning for, and more to come, to do distribution on August 24th of this year. It's exciting to see how the Lord is going to be working.
So we're one of those conferences, and we're excited to be involved in it. And we're aiming for August 24th for all the churches in Indiana at the same time to go out with the Great Controversy. Now, of all the books that we could put out in communities, why the Great Controversy in particular?
You know, that's an excellent question. You know, I was a colporteur myself, and I've canvassed many different titles of books, and so I was used to having a variety in my hand when going door to door. And I would say if there was one book I would choose over the other, it would be Steps to Christ or Desire of Ages. And I remember one day studying in the testimonies and coming across many quotes about the book, The Great Controversy in particular. If it were up to me, I think we would distribute the Steps to Christ to every home and would make it just fine. The book is thin, it's easy to distribute, it uplifts Christ.
Right.
But then I read that in the Bible, first of all, it says that we need to share the three angels' messages to every nation, kindred, tribe, tongue, and people.
Right.
And then in the testimonies, there's a specific quote that tells us that the Great Controversy should be widely circulated. And she says, I am more anxious to see a wide circulation for this book than for any others that she has written. And the question is why? She says, because in this book, the last warning message to the world is given more distinctively than in any other literature. So I had to surrender my ideas and say, Lord, I will trust in you. And that's why we recommend The Great Controversy.
Right. And it is a Christ-centered book when you think
Yes.
about it, because that's the book that shows where Jesus is now and what he's doing before he comes again. And many Christians don't know that.
Absolutely.
They follow him to the cross, but that's about as far as it goes.
That's
and
right.
believe in the second coming, but there's this high priestly ministry in between that we need to be aware
That's
of.
right. Christ is the center of the three angels' messages. You cannot have the everlasting gospel without Christ.
Right. So you've been putting out the Great Controversy in many communities for quite a while now. So I'm curious, what kind of receptivity are you finding in communities to this book, The Great Controversy?
You know, that's a great question. This work bears two types of fruit: immediate fruit and long-term fruit. The very first fruit that we see is the transformation in the revival that takes place in our own church members when they go out. When they go to door and they get the divine appointments, they get the Bible study, they get the cool experiences, they become on fire. So that's the first fruit.
Yeah.
And then the long-term fruit.
And I can tell you've seen that.
Yeah, that's right. And experienced it.
Right.
And the long-term fruit are the community members. We have a little church in Tennessee. They gave up on doing outreach. For years, they tried and said nothing works. First Sabbath, they went out 29 Bible study contacts.
Amen.
They kept getting Bible study contacts as they distributed GC through the year, and they had at one point over 70 leads that they were working with. And so people are hungry. They're asking for truth. They're looking for hope, and they're trying to find something to put an anchor in because they are experiencing restlessness and anxiety in the world today.
Yeah, and I remember you telling me earlier this week, the Lansing Project, 44,000 books went out in 1 week.
In 1 week, and 720 people said, yes, I want to study the Bible.
Wow, that's amazing.
In 1 week.
Wow.
People are hungry.
So let's conclude by just telling us, how can our churches here in Indiana, how can individual members of our churches get involved in this project?
Absolutely. As mentioned earlier, we have about 23 churches that are already on board and more in counting, and we're encouraging every church to get involved. So we've done everything that we could to make it easy. We've created training materials, videos, PowerPoints, handouts, and also custom outreach maps for every single church in Indiana. And all someone has to do if they want to get involved is go to our website, and on there will be a board proposal.
Okay.
They can share that with their pastor, and they can then take it to the church board, and from there, they'll have all they need to get going with the project.
Okay, great. Well, you heard about it, 23 of our churches already, and it's increasing all the time. Don't let your church be the one that's left out of this initiative. So if you want to be involved in this, you want to see your church involved in this, if you're a member or a leader of a church in Indiana, go to that website, streamsoflight.net/NAD-outreach, and you'll find everything you need to know about the Great Controversy Project. And we encourage you, pray about it, get involved, don't miss out.